How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Box to Box. A special Box to Box today. We're in Molineux Stadium. Obviously, we've got Wolves away tomorrow night. I'm with Dave from Talking Wolves. What are you saying, Dave?
I'm good, man. Are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I'll be better tomorrow after the night if we get the win.
Yeah.
But after that January window and on the pitch too, I'm eagerly anticipating this game to see if we can erase the January
I'm surprised you guys didn't bring a striker in, to be fair. I think maybe that's going to hold you back, I don't know.
Yeah, if you're surprised, imagine Arsenal fans, what we're thinking at the moment. But listen, we are here. Big up Wolves for allowing us into the stadium to do content and whatnot. A lot of good content coming out of the channel before the Wolves game. So look out for that. Hopefully, the Arsenal performance matches up with the content we're going to be bringing you today. Dave, we ain't played Wolves yet this season. Obviously, our first game at the end of December got postponed due to COVID. It was your
our end, yeah.
But when you look at Wolves' season so far, the fallout from Santo, what do you make of the season? Are you happy? Are you content?
Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't. Well, yeah, of course I'm happy. I mean, we're 8th in the table, I think, as we speak. We've got one or two games in hand of some teams. You know, with United dropping points last night, we win our games in hand. You know, we're ahead of United, we're ahead of West Ham. You know, we're straight in the race for the top 4, top 6.
Well, if you beat us, you'd be ahead of us.
Yeah. So, you know, this month is huge for Wolves. We've got you guys. We play Spurs, Leicester, West Ham. You know, teams all in and around that sort of top 6 race. So it's been good, but we've got a really small squad, and that's why I'm hoping, you know, this month is crucial for us. If we can get, I'm not expecting us to win every game, but if we can get 9 or 12 points out of the 15, you know, we'd be in a massive position, really. So we've had a lot of injuries. We've got injured players coming back at the end of this month. Juan Chan, Pedro Neto, Johnny, exactly. Yeah. So if we can get those back, keep the players we've got fresh and fit, I think we could be in a good position. But I think a lot of fans are hoping to see us spend a bit more in January. Obviously, Adama went out on loan, and we haven't really replaced him. So it's, again, we're in a similar position to you guys. This game, it's going to be interesting to see how we get on.
A couple of things you said there resonated so much with us. You said small squad.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club. and you said spending money in January. It seemed like you was going to do something similar to Arsenal, but it just wasn't to be.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's a big month for Wolves. Listen, every game for Arsenal Football Club from now to the end of the season is big because we're out of the FA Cup, we're out of the League Cup. I just saw your video with Robbie, which is on Talking Wolves channel. Link in the description. Make sure you guys go support that. And you know, we was talking about not being used to this at Arsenal Football Club. The fact that in January, all we've got left is league games. No FA Cup, no League Cup, no Europe, nothing. So every single game now for us is vital. Start of the season, Dave, I didn't think top 4, top 6 was possible for Arsenal Football Club. And over the last few weeks, I've not changed my tune, but I've looked at the targets, I've looked at what defines the season, and I've said, well, we're out of FA Cup, we're out of League Cup, and we haven't got Europe. And we're in and around the top 4 race.
Yeah.
Is it fair to now ask for top 4, demand top 4, and say, you know, Arteta or Arsenal season rests on top 4?
I think it's hard to say, man. Like you said, there's so many teams in and around that. Like West Ham started dropping loads of points. United as well. It's almost as if no one wants that 4th place spot. But I think Arsenal, I'd say United and Arsenal are probably the 2 teams that are in the best position to do it.
You wouldn't include Tottenham in that with Conte?
Oh yeah, Spurs, I suppose so. Yeah, Spurs are doing well as well. So I think it's up to one of those 3, really. I think Arsenal, the one thing I would say, like I mentioned at the start, I think you needed a striker.
Yeah.
Without Aubameyang, I do like Lacazette, but I just don't see him as a striker that's going to score you another 10, 15, 20 goals this season.
No, never has.
And you know, you got players like Nketiah with uncertain futures, so I think it's difficult for Arteta, but I think he's got to get you Europe in some capacity. He has to get you Europe. Yeah. It's going to be tight though, man. It could be anyone's. Like Wolves are in the race. Are we strong enough? Have we got enough experience to last the season? Probably not.
West Ham are in and around there, probably similar.
Last couple of seasons they've been used to it, so it's going to be really interesting. But I think Arsenal, you know, they've got the strength, they've got the experience. It's just up to Arteta now. Big couple of months for him, I think.
Talking about managers, obviously you had a managerial change in the summer. Coming into the league, Santo, you know, a high profile. You know, he got a lot of credit for the turnaround at Wolves. But towards the end of his time, it just seemed to be getting a bit stale. New managers come in now, Bruno, and you're in and around the top half, in and around the top 4 race, as you've just said. What do you put that success down to? What do you put the seamless transition down to.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at his our defensive record. He got the second best defensive record in the league,
goals conceded
behind City, but goal scoring with sort of down bottom 4, bottom 5.
19 scored.
Yeah. So that's why we're struggling a little bit on that front. But I don't know, you know, he came in, his only experience was at Benfica before. He was a really attacking manager there. There were league games, you search his name, league games where he was winning 10-0 in the league. So we all thought, you know, rubbing our hands together, thinking attacking football, change from the 5 at the back that we saw with Nuno. But he's come in and I think he's probably been told, look, you haven't got a huge amount to spend, these are the players you've got. And I think he's adapted his managerial style as well to say, I'm going to have to try and get this 5 at the back system to work. And when you think about 5 defenders, you think like you're going to tighten up defensively, and that's what he's done. But I think he's just got to try and find that balance. I don't think Wolves fans won't mind if we can see 1 or 2 more goals, as long as we're scoring 3 or 4 more goals.
I think with the back 3, back 5, there's a myth that it is ultra defensive, but the back 3, back 5 also aids the attack and the transition.
With the wing backs and so on.
Conte and Chelsea, when they won the league, the rest of the league followed in copying that, and it wasn't a boring style. It wasn't a Jose Mourinho Chelsea. It was quite a vibrant, exciting.
Well, that's why I think the main difference with like Nuno last season, the defensive line was so deep. I mean, you saw the game against you guys. That first half last season, we stunk Molineux out, and you did really, really well. And then we got that red card, the Louise one, and that sort of changed the complexion of the game, you know, because we had a man up, you know, we could attack you a bit more. But Nuno, for some reason, very negative, very defensive, and like you said, towards the end of his tenure at the club, got pretty stale. But I was surprised, you know, I was disappointed when he went, I was upset when he went. But a lot of the players have commented on the change, how good the change has been, and how much they like Bruno Lage. So it's positive all round, really. Yeah,
and opinions on Arteta, outside looking in. Because you did mention with Robbie again that, you know, on one side you have a lot of Arteta ins, and on another side you have a lot of Arteta outs. And then you have people like me who are, forget the in and out, it's the owner that's the biggest issue.
Yeah, I think that's the issue. Like, I mean, for you guys, you've always been a club that have been top 4 ambitions. As you know, I'm not too old, you know, I'm sort of mid-20s, but as far as I remember, Arsenal have always been in and around that. If you talk about top 6, Arsenal are always there. So I can understand the frustration when you're finishing 8th 2 years on the bounce. Arteta, I think you should have probably got someone a bit more experienced when he was appointed, but I think this is a big season for him as well. If he does not get you top 6 this season, even Europa Conference, I don't think it's you know, at the moment it's not a great competition. You know, Spurs didn't want to be in it.
I'd rather be 8th than 7th.
But I think he's got to get top 6, otherwise he's in a bit of trouble. But like you said, the owners as well, if they're not backing him, it's a difficult situation for him to be in.
One of the players we was linked to in the summer, and it was a player that I actually extremely wanted, when the rumours that Xhaka was on the way out. I think one of the first, if it wasn't Locatelli, it was Ruben Neves that came about, and his name was touted. And his name's come up again in January. Is there a reason for that? Is he on his way out of the club? Is there rumours that he might want to seek pastures new?
It's a strange one with Neves. I think in the summer there were a lot of rumours that Wolves are basically open to offers, because I think we've got at the moment almost a philosophy of we've got to sell to buy. We've got to be self-sustainable without the owners keep pumping this money.
Similar to Leicester in this
a little bit, yeah. So they said basically Adama, at the time he had 2 years left on his deal, didn't really want to sign a new contract. He was for sale, and same with Neves, they were open to offers. At the time in the summer, they were saying about £40 million, but that was after a poor season. Last season, you know, we didn't finish the season well, but this year, man, he's been fantastic. Bruno's almost taken the shackles off. He's attacking a bit more, scoring more goals as well. So I saw, you know, in the papers in January, they were saying about 40 million. Oh God, I'd be wanting more. I'd be wanting 60 million plus, and some fans would think that's crazy, but I think he's got it. Is his
contract coming to last couple of years?
I think he's got 2.5 left, but this summer's big, because I think if the club can't pin him down, if the club don't get Europe, or the club don't say, look, we're going to improve the squad, he's got every right to say, look, I think it's time for me to move on, because he's a European quality player. He should be playing in the Europa League, he should be playing in the Champions League. So the big rest of this season and the summer is huge for Ruben Neves' future.
And since we've mentioned the name now, Granit Xhaka, what's your opinions on him?
I always thought...
Is Neves a definite upgrade on Granit Xhaka?
Well,
a lot of people told me, no. But to me, he is.
Yeah, when you put... If someone said to me, do you want Xhaka or Neves? I would say Neves every time. But in the summer, I checked their stats, their numbers, and they were actually pretty similar, you know, in the things that they did well and so on. But to compare it now, you know, with a new season with a new manager, I think Neves is a lot better. You know, he's getting forward a bit more, being a bit more positive with his play.
As well.
Exactly, yeah, and got plenty of Premier League experience now. So, you know, I think he's a perfect player for those teams that are chasing or in and around the European spots.
And looking at obviously the goals scored and Jimenez's big injury, how has his return been? Is he still finding his feet in terms of goals and maybe impact?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of Wolves fans that would just expect him to come back and be the Raul Jimenez that we had a couple of years ago. But obviously that's not going to be the case. He's still scored, I think, 4 goals so far, got a few assists. So in terms of goal contributions, he's got the highest amount in the team. But you could tell he's finding his feet a little bit more. But the same thing is probably the amount of goals is due to the service he's getting. It's not like he's missed, 2 or 3 sitters a game. He's just not getting the service and not getting the chances. So like I said earlier, that's up to Lage now to try and figure out how can we get Raul Jimenez the ball in and around the box more often. But it's great to have him back. We really missed him last season, even against you guys. We had that William Jose up top who won us the penalty. But he came in, he was dreadful. So Jimenez, Premier League experience, can find the back of the net. I'm just hoping he can, hit the ground running again soon.
Again, it's resonating with me, creating chances, getting the ball in and around the box, and having your striker at the end of them. Similar problems to Arsenal Football Club. Looking at the last 6 fixtures since you've come back up into the Premier League, I believe Arsenal have only one. We've drawn 2, and Wolves have won 3, including the double header last season, both 2-1 at the Emirates and here at Molineux Stadium. Are you confident about this one coming up tomorrow night?
It's difficult because I think, like you said, both clubs are in a similar sort of position, both chasing possibly the same ambitions come the end of the season as well.
And you've had some massive, maybe not results against Man City and Liverpool, losing both 1-0. You got the 0-0 against Chelsea, I believe. But all 3 performances, you walked away with credit.
Even the start of the season, we played United, Spurs and Leicester. First international break, we were on 0 points, but bossed every single team.
Oh, snap, and then, again, resonates 0 points.
When January, you got 3 wins out of 3, beat United at Old Trafford. Bruno won Manager of the Month as well, so I'm hoping the curse doesn't kick in, But it's tough. I think Arsenal is always a tough game. You don't want to go into it thinking, right, we're definitely going to win, and it's not like either team have bossed each other in these games. I think the one game just after the restart, I think you guys beat us here, that's the win, and you were way better than us, but every other game has been really close. I remember the games here at Molineux and at the Emirates. I've been to a few, and they're always close games. Going to be a difficult match.
It's been 2-1s, 1-1s. I think there's a 3-1 in there somewhere.
So the 3-1, I remember, I think we scored 3 goals down this end, and it was at half time. We're like, what on earth has just happened? Like, it was ridiculous. And I think we just had 3 chances, scored 3 goals. That was it, which doesn't happen very often. But both very close games.
It's actually crazy how similar our seasons sound. Even when you just said the first 3 games, 3 losses, 0 points. I think to myself, hold on, the first international break, Arsenal, Wolves, both winning with 0 points. And here we are in February, have a game between us, 2 points difference in a top 4 race. So
There's games like we drew, before Christmas, we drew 0-0 with Norwich and Burnley. And
we've done that just now.
There's games like that, and you think, if we got a win or 2 in those, look where we'd be in the table. It's just small margins at the moment. We've just got to try and crack it.
Literally the same. That 0-0 at Burnley, which was our last Premier League out, and it really sucked the life out of what life we had left after that January window. But it really sucked the life out of the ending to it. Dave, I'm going to ask you to, before you stick your neck on the line, who is the main threat to Arsenal?
Jimenez has got to be up there, although he's not, firing on all cylinders. He's always just, such a danger. Neves just makes the game tick as well in the middle. I like Daniel Podence. He's been on good form this season as well. He didn't have a great game in the FA Cup at the weekend, but this season has probably been his most consistent season in terms of performances. And
does he play off the left?
Yeah, left normally.
So him and Tommy
So and he scored a great goal against Arsenal, I think, last season as well. So he's a good player, and if he can get going, and big crowd behind him tomorrow, I'm hoping that he can have a good game as well. So tricky player.
And who are you wary of from the Arsenal side coming into the game? Who's the one player that you want Wolves to make sure doesn't have a good game?
I think if he starts, Saka. I think Saka always does really well against us. I think he scored in a couple of goals against us before. Still a young player, but still making the league look easy at times, I think. So he's such a good player. But Martinelli as well, come back from injury. And again, he's firing now as well, so dangerous player. But you've got some quality players all across the pitch. I think same as us, it just depends which team is going to turn up, basically.
100%. And if your fans are the 12th man, or our away fans become the 12th man. Let's wrap this up with a prediction, Dave.
See, I think it will be a close game, but I'm gonna copy Robbie, but go the opposite end. I'm gonna go with a 2-1 Wolves win. I always like to back my own team, but look, it could be either way. If we were playing at the Emirates as we are in a couple of weeks, I might say 2-1 Arsenal, but close game. I think there'll only be a goal in it if there's a winner.
I'm nervous about this game, and me saying that, you're going to a lot of people now watching this video saying, oh, Turkish is always nervous. Stop being like. I'm nervous because after January our morale's down, you know, the squad is thin, and the only thing we have left is the Premier League, is achieving. For me, top 4, top 6 is not success to me, even though I understand Europe, whatever. I think this is a big one, and I just think we're not fully prepared for it. I think a signing or 2 in January would have helped see us over the line this season. And Wolves, good club, away from home. I'm going to hope for a 1-1. And I say hope for a 1-1. I wouldn't be happy with a point either. It doesn't really help us where we are. So I'm going to say 1-1, hope for what Robbie said, and that's 2-1 Arsenal. But if you really ask me to pick either side,
tight, man.
I think Wolves might pip it if anyone's going to. But Dave, thank you for coming on.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
No worries. People, like I said, Dave's done a video with Robbie at Talking Wolves YouTube channel, Talking Wolves Twitter, Talking Wolves Insta. Links in the description, link in the title as well. So make sure you go and support. Check out that video. Leave some comments on that video. Leave some comments here too. Thoughts, predictions, lineups, main threat from Wolves, and what you want to see from Arsenal. As always, people, hit the like button. Love for the love, and tune in for the watch along tomorrow. Peace.